Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Holly and this is my dog Stella. And today is gonna be a fun video. We just parked at a trail. I've never been to this trail before. Stella's never done it, but it's a 4-kilometer trail and I thought it would be the perfect time to talk about Doxy's hiking and going for long walks. I take Stella anywhere that I can with me, and this includes really long hikes and adventures and climbs and everything. And at first it made me a little nervous. I was a little hesitant. I bought this backpack for her to go in, which I still use for other things, but I bought it specifically for hiking because I thought she'd only be able to walk about 1 or 2 kilometers and then she'd get too tired, she wouldn't be able to walk anymore, and I'd have to carry her in a backpack. But I've actually never put her in the backpack in a walk. In the beginning I tried it a few times. I thought, okay, she seems really tired now, she probably needs a break. I put her in the backpack and she just cried and squirmed and she'd bite at the zipper. So I'd put her back out and let her finish the walk and she would finish it totally fine. I usually don't go for crazy long hikes. I'd say 4 to 5 kilometers is ideal, and depending on where that 4 to 5 kilometers is, sometimes it's going up hills or mountains. Not quite mountains, Stella hasn't done a mountain yet, but sometimes it's climbing big rocks and stuff like that, and it can take a few hours. And I think the longest hike Stella went on was about 5.5 kilometers and it took about 3 hours, and she was totally fine for the last few kilometers. I kept trying to carry her and every time I'd pick her up she would just cry and squirm and she did not want to be carried. She wanted to keep going. But I just had this idea in my head, because you read so much about Doxies being so fragile and IVDD, and they're so small and their legs are so short, you just assume that they can't do really athletic things that big dogs like labs or something could do. But through my experience with Stella and some reading online, I've realized that dachshunds are actually very athletic. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is how far can Doxies really hike or walk or go on adventures for, when to know not to take them on a hike, because obviously all Doxies are different. But anyways, I think we're gonna get started on the hike because Stella is starting to fall asleep. She slept the whole car ride, so she should have lots of energy and be good to go for this walk. You ready? Do you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Stella gets a little nervous on bridges. Come on, it's okay. So like I was saying, dachshunds are a lot more athletic than people assume. Breed was meant originally to hunt badgers, which is not an easy thing to do. Badgers are fast, they're very aggressive, they dig tunnels, and these dogs chase them down, dig tunnels. So it's in their blood to be fast and agile. And there's so many sports for Doxies too. There's the classic ones like agility. Stella actually did an agility course and she loved it. She wasn't the best behaved, but she was pretty good at the agility part. And then there's other sports like field trials, which is basically where the dog just has to track down prey. It doesn't actually catch and eat it, but I think they get rabbits to kind of make a trail, and then they judge based on how well the dog follows that trail, which Doxies are so good at because that's literally what they're bred to do. And then they also have really strong endurance, which you wouldn't really expect with their little bodies and their little legs, but because they're hound dogs and they used to hunt and they'd have to walk for a long time, they'd have to chase these badgers for a long time, they have surprisingly good endurance. And obviously you have to be careful with their backs because of IVDD. Like I've said in other videos, you can make ramps for your furniture, limit stair use, stuff like that, but you don't want to baby your dog too much because then they never gain the strength and the muscle to be able to avoid those injuries. And there are studies that show that walking Doxies, ones who go for walks very often, long walks, have less cases of IVDD because they're strong, they're athletic. Doxies can become overweight very easily because of their love for food, and Doxies that walk really often are less likely to get overweight, less likely to cause IVDD. So basically, don't underestimate your dog. Okay, so Stella started panting. We're about halfway. I'm just gonna give her a quick little water break. I always bring this water bottle with me. It's one of my favorites, but there's a few other ones that are very similar. I actually kind of want to get the one that's just like this, but the top part flips over it, so it makes it smaller in your backpack. You're not even thirsty? But obviously you always want to bring water for your dog, especially if it's hot like it is today. Of course, when it's super hot out, I don't bring Stella with me on walks, just because even with water and breaks, it's just too much, and like dogs can get heat stroke or whatever. But today is a nice medium hot, where it's not too hot, but it's still warm out. Stella's just really eager to keep going. Okay, let's go. We're just coming to the end of the trail here. I'm all sweaty. Stella is still full of energy. But I just wanted to mention one last thing, to take into consideration the age of your dog and the physical capability and how much they enjoy walking when deciding how far your Doxie can go on a hike. For example, if you have a puppy, they shouldn't be going for really long walks because their muscles are still developing, their skeleton is still developing, all that stuff. They just don't have the same energy levels and capabilities. I'm pretty sure it's a year old when your puppy is considered an adult, but I would talk to your vet first if you're planning on taking your puppy on some kind of long hike or walk. And then obviously same with senior Doxies, they just don't have the same physical capabilities. And then if your dog is injured or has ever had IVDD, obviously follow whatever advice your vet gives, which is probably to limit walking and limit how much they move around and how active they are. And also just take into consideration how much your dog likes going on walks. Like I know Stella hates going on sidewalk, I call it sidewalk walks, where I just walk her around my neighborhood on the sidewalks and it's not like a trail with lots of smells and trees and squirrels. When I take her on those walks, I think she just gets bored or something, because she will just lie down and protest. Like she will not go on the walk. I really have to force her if I want to do that. Whereas when I take her on a trail like this, she could literally go forever. Like she is so happy right now. And on these walks, she will literally fight. If I try and pick her up and walk her, she'll be like, no way, I want to walk this. So just consider that when you're trying to decide how far your Doxie can hike or go on a walk with you. We made it! Good job! Good job, Stella. Hopefully that'll tire her out for the day. For some reason, she always waits till we're in the car to drink all her water. When we're actually walking, I think she's just so focused on the smells and having fun that she doesn't want to take a lot of water. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe learned something or gained a little confidence to take your dog on some longer walk. Doxies can be good adventure dogs, despite what people think of little lap dogs being yappy, pick-me, stay-at-home dogs. They're perfectly capable of going on all the hikes, all the adventures that Labs and Australian Shepherds and Retrievers and all those cool dogs do. But anyways, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.